And we are live with my fabulous friend, Nicole Majors.
Hi.
Exactly. That's the intro. Good morning, Nicole, and welcome
Good
everybody
morning.
to Michelle Humes Live. I'm so happy to have you. My guest today is an unbelievable rock star who you are going to learn so much from, both professionally and personally. So I cannot wait to talk to her. Nicole Majors and I have known each other for a long time, as long as we've both been in real estate. And I just thought it would be so fantastic to hear how she went from being not a realtor not that long ago to last year selling 21 million and 83 homes on a team. So welcome, Nicole Majors.
Thank you.
So
Fun to
happy
be
to
here.
have you here. Yes, so happy to have you here. Um, and we have all kinds of people that watch our Michelle Humes Live for lots of different reasons. But I think today, who we're going to see tune in is not only buyer's agents on teams, but also team leaders, because I think it's really important when you see, as we sort of did our promo yesterday, getting revved up for you coming on today, when you see someone that is able to accomplish what you have been able to do in a very short amount of time, my ears perked up. A lot of people had a lot of comments, and I know they're going to watch today and be very interested. So, Nicole, tell us about yourself and sort of your journey getting into real estate and how you landed in Port St. Joe and all of it.
Sure. So I'm originally a Kansas girl. I'm born and raised in a tiny, tiny town in Kansas. And I enjoyed my time there. My husband and I, we've raised two daughters. Our girls are 24, and actually our youngest turned 22 today. And we've raised our kids, and my husband works for the local cable company. And we always said that, if there's ever a chance, an opportunity in this area, we'll take it. And that's what we did. So in 2015, we moved here. We had never been here before. We came down here. We had 4 days to find a place to live. And my broker who hired me over the phone hadn't met me yet. She found us a place. So I knew I was in the right hands because she was like a go-getter, and I was super excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been here. I started as her administrative assistant, moved into an ISA role really quickly, got my license because, our team is the number one selling team in our area. And we don't have that many agents, but we have a really large admin staff to help support us, which is fantastic. But when you're the number one selling team, you've got everybody like at your heels. And so with what I was doing, I needed to get my license so that there was no complaints from the peanut gallery as far as what I was doing for the team. So anyway, got that license, and then ended up stepping out in March of 17. Yes, or 18. Gosh darn, the days run together. And so I did really well the first year, and then the second year was insane, and last year was even more insane. And I just gave everything I had to it, and I've been enjoying the journey. So
Awesome. So you mentioned your production from 3 years ago until now. I think that it's really important to talk about that, because the number one thing I see agents do is get on a team, get training, and then learn the ropes, and they leave just when their pipeline is really heating up. And
right.
so what I'm hearing you say is that year one, I did well. Year two, I did better. Year three, I crushed it.
Yeah.
I would say 83 homes, you crushed it. So what was your thinking behind that? And tell us about that process, and actually give us your kind of roundabout numbers, if you don't mind.
Sure. So honestly, the first year I was in it, I didn't really I didn't set an expectation, because I just wanted to do the best I could do.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been motivated by the money. That is not my motivation at all. I thoroughly enjoy the process so much. I love selling those big gold front homes because, I mean, it's a nice paycheck, don't get me wrong, and it's super cool to go in and show them and see them. But those first time home buyers that have never done this before are just the sweetest. It's the sweetest journey for me. I enjoy it so much. And I think that's part of it, is that whether I'm selling a $5,000 lot or a $1.8 million home, you're going to get the exact same service from me. You're going to have the same person helping you regardless. So my first year, I don't know the volume that I sold, but I know my income.
That's okay.
And I think it was like around 70, almost $80,000 of commission income that I made. And it was just from March to December. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I made a goal for 150, I think, for the second year. And I'm pretty sure I pushed over 2. And so this last year I had a goal of 3 and pushed over that. And again, I have other agents that would call me and say, oh my gosh, you're doing such a great job. Like, I'm super proud of you. And, like what, all this stuff. And I hadn't even taken a look at the numbers. Like, I haven't looked at the numbers. I'm just going, like, I'm just working and I'm having a great time. So.
Well, you can tell. I think that that's where we talk a lot in our organization about having a heart of service and customer service, and really focused on your customer, really focused on listening to what your customer needs are, and then meeting them where they're at. And you said something to me earlier in the program before we started about you're going to get the same person privately and publicly. And let's be honest, consumers recognize that. Consumers recognize a salesperson, and consumers recognize just genuineness. And I think that's really important to remember. So I think the numbers and the money always shows up when the intention is correct. And so I think that's you.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I had a discussion with another agent the other day. And I said, I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled to be doing what I'm doing. And I've had a lot of work in some mindset and the abundance mindset that I'm good. Like, I am so good. Like, I am so blessed. And so when you stay in that mindset of gratitude, and it just naturally flows in. And what I'm seeing now is my past clients now saying, hey, I gave your number to somebody. Hey, so-and-so is going to reach out. So now I'm getting that kind of that lead generation, that more organic lead generation. And that's super exciting for me, because that means that we built that relationship and we built that trust, and they're passing that along to somebody else. And that's exciting. So.
Absolutely. So what you focus on is what you will find.
Yep.
You focus on there's not enough business, you'll probably find not enough business. You focus on abundance and having enough agents in the world, enough clients in the world, you will find enough business. And I think that is a really good lesson. It is difficult, I find, for a lot of agents to get to that place. I would say we talked in our team meeting yesterday about mindset. Mindset it's a funny thing. Your mindset I always say this in real estate, you can go from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows within minutes. And
for sure,
controlling your emotions and controlling your mindset, in my opinion, is 80-90%. You have to have skill, obviously. But it is such an emotional business. And if you don't have skill in controlling your emotions, you are in for a wild, wild roller coaster, right?
And I'm not perfect at this at all. I mean, I had a rough day yesterday. I'm not even going to lie. And I had to stop, and I literally put my head down on the desk and I just did some deep breathing, because it was just a rough day. There was, not everybody puts clients first, and it's frustrating when I've done such a great job for them, and then yet they've still got a lender not, there's so many things that happen. But my first introduction to any kind of mindset stuff, my broker was telling me about it when I first started, and I thought she was crazy. Like, this woman's nuts. Like, I don't know about her, but
I'm from the Midwest, ma'am. We don't talk about that. We have meat and potatoes.
We don't do that. But it has been super fun. And then once I got my coach, and she even started helping me even more, I was like, oh, this stuff's real. Like, this is a real thing. So
it is. And I grew up kind of the same way, and maybe it's a generational thing. You didn't talk a lot about how what you focus on in your mind is really what does come up, what happens. Not always, but I mean, most of the time, whatever you keep focusing on is what you're going to see more of. So I think that's a great lesson. And I you couldn't have sold 83 homes last year without incredible mindset. And so kudos to you. Let's switch gears a little bit, because I do think that there's a misconception about sometimes about teams and about the role you may play on a team, and that being a buyer's agent versus a listing agent and all of these places that you can be on the seat on the bus, right?
Yeah.
So I would love for you to talk about how having a team enables you to do this amount of business, because I do think without a team, selling 83 homes, helping 83 families a year, you're working 80, 90 hours a week easy. So talk to us about what that looks like for you.
Sure. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I do work a lot, but I'm also at a time in my life where our children are older. Yeah. So I don't have little kids at home, and I don't have softball, baseball, soccer. I don't have that stuff going on. So I have that privilege. So I'm going to just toss that out there first. So if you're a mama with small babies, be a mama with small babies, and it's okay. I've been blessed to be kind of in a different part of my life, but even with the volume that our team is doing, like I said, my broker's got a great admin staff. We've got a listing coordinator. We have a that does specifically just works on listings and just talks to sellers. I work hand in hand with the closing coordinator, who her name is Tammy, and she is worth the weight in gold. Yep. So once I have a client and we're under contract, I bridge into her. So I tell Mr. and Miss Jones, hey, I want you to know we've got a great gal on our team named Tammy. So once we have this contract together, you will hear from her. She's going to give you the next steps, where your escrow needs to go, what we can do about ordering inspections, all that good stuff. And she does, and she sends out a wonderful email. They've already know to expect it. So, and then she helps set up, do you need a survey? Here's some quotes. Do you need homeowners insurance quotes? Here's some, we'll reach out for you on your behalf. And same thing with inspections and the whole shebang. Mm-hmm. She also has access to my calendar. So she just puts things on my calendar. Hey, you've got a home inspection. Hey, so that's nice. So once we're under contract, I'm not like completely hands off, but she kind of steps in and starts kind of heading the show, getting me to closing. And I'm in there. Every email I'm copied on, everything, like I know where we are in the process 100% of the time. And I do make sure that a couple days a week that I actually pull in, look at my buyers under contract, where are we at, like make sure that everything's falling in line. Because in the end, it's my responsibility, 100%. But luckily, I have a wonderful team member. So without her, if I was having to do the whole thing from beginning to end, that's a time suck there. And just to be able to have the ability to throw that onto her plate, it helps me be able to go out and show property. Because if Mr. Jones has a question and I've been showing for 4 hours, I feel bad that he had to wait 4 hours, but he doesn't have to because Tammy's there. So that's nice.
Absolutely. And I think that shows the value. Sometimes I think that the misconception of teams is that you're going to get jostled around or passed around. And, in my opinion, and obviously your opinion, having someone that's great at every single job is so much cleaner. Because if I have to be a great listing agent and a great buyer's agent, and I have to process my contract and get it to the attorney and the lender and the inspector and everybody, I'm probably going to miss one of those things because I'm trying to be good at everything. And yet, if I focus on just being a buyer's agent and being really, really, really good at it, probably I'm going to know the inventory better. I'm going to know what's coming on, because now all the top listing agents are thinking, who would I like to do a co-op with if I got to choose? That Nicole Majors, she's great. It's really easy. And she has those, she had all of the things in line that made this listing go from contract to close perfectly, usually, right? And so I'm going to choose her. And some of the things my team, in fact, deals with, and sometimes where they want to go list, they want to work with buyers, and that's okay. I just always tell them, if you're going in a couple different directions, just be prepared that sometimes it's really hard to switch your brain from buyers to sellers, etc.
And they need so different. They are so different on their needs. I guess I've worked, I was an administrative assistant and an ISA. So I've dealt with those. I've done the listings. I've been there. and sellers are lovely. And
And
I
so
chose,
then buyers.
I specifically chose buyers. So
Well, I think that this is what so if there's a new agent watching, I think that this is what's really interesting that you should take in. Working with buyers is exciting. Now, in our current market situation, it is tough. I get it.
it is.
There is very little inventory, but it will not be that way forever, right? Because what you focus on is what you find. I am finding more inventory at some point,
Yeah.
but it's a fun process, right? It's exciting. Think about those first-time home buyers or the people that are downsizing into their forever home, right? That this is a really fun experience typically. And a conversation with a seller is not always fun. Look, this is the market. This is what's happening. And so we talk a lot about the differences and really the personality traits needed in order to thrive in either one. Neither one I don't think is better than the other. I personally am a better buyer's agent than I am a listing agent sometimes because that's me. I'm vivacious. I love working with excited people. Having hard conversations, sometimes, I have to check myself, and I'm sure you can relate to that as well.
Yeah.
Just it's a lot.
It is, and it can be. And there's times where my husband's always like, "Oh, why are you so tired? I got home or whatever. I've been working." And I just look at him because I'm like, I don't think I can carry on one more conversation today. Like, I think I might be done talking. And for me to be done talking, it's a lot, but
Well,
I enjoy it so much that every day I wake up and I'm already like, okay, where am I going? And I have to actually stop myself from immediately walking into work because I know that to be the best version for my clients, I need the best me. And I got to stop. I'm like, nope, I'm going for that walk. I'm lifting those weights. I'm going for that run. I got to do something. I got to do something for me first. This girl's got to be first for just a quick second. So, that's key too, is just to make sure that you've got yourself wrapped up in a nice bow.
so I am sitting here thinking about having grown children, 22, 24-year girls. Happy birthday to your baby, by the way. My
Thank
brother's
you.
birthday too. Happy birthday to my brother.
It's my husband's birthday as well.
Happy birthday. Let's
Everybody.
stop the presses. No. But I think a lot about how, because I have little ones, and I think so many people, women watching, have little ones or they have middle school ones. And when you're saying those things about putting yourself first, I could get emotional. Ooh, that's not good. We're live on Facebook. You're not supposed to show what you really are.
Right? Don't be vulnerable, Michelle.
Exactly. No. But I don't know if it's society or something we put on ourselves as women. It is very difficult to put yourself first.
It is.
Even as a business owner, it is very difficult when I know there are so many people counting on me. It is hard for me to say, I deserve it. And I just love that. And I don't know what your position was when you had little kids, if you were working outside the home or if you were home, but I just think that it's such a shame for somebody like me to get to where they have a 22 and 24-year-old and say, I wish I'd put myself first because I was worth it.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like I grew up in an area where you worked hard. I mean, I'm a hard worker. I have great work ethic, and I'm glad to have been in that kind of culture that gave me the ability to learn that. But I did work outside the home with my girls, and I missed a lot. And so when we have a couple other agents on our team that have kids, and I'm like, don't you dare miss that cheer competition. No, you go. Like, do you need me to cover for you? I got your back. Like, I'll be the first one to cover Christmas and some of those events because, I don't have little kids. Like, I'm okay with this, but don't you dare miss this. Like, it goes that fast. Like, just be there. Like, do what you can do.
Pull it together. Kleenex on aisle 2.
But it's true. I mean,
it is true.
The work-life balance, I think that's just kind of a myth, especially for us women, because we give everything to everything that we can. And but don't forget yourself, because you can do better.
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm working with a nutritionist right now and trying to make sure, and really just the goal is not only about myself and my husband, but about our kids and making sure that we're filling them with good food, not junk food, right? Because they're little and they don't like all the things that we know that they need in order to grow up to be healthy and strong. And I was saying, we were just talking about mindset, and we were actually talking about the children at night, like what the routine is, what they could help with prepping food. Because again, it's all
Make
about
it
like
fun.
how can we be as efficient as possible, but then we know we need to cook the food to make it healthy together. But how can we do that together so that I'm not spending an hour and a half making dinner and they're off, and I don't get to see them at all. And I said, and the devices are a problem. And when you were raising your kids, it wasn't as big of a problem, but I think it was starting to be probably 10 years ago. And she said, gosh, this is so hard to even admit. She said, tell you what I think. You tell them there's no devices from whatever, 5 to 7, or say it's 6 to 8. And you tell her, your children and your husband, and I won't have any devices either.
Oh,
And
that's
I'm
big.
like,
And you're like, whoa.
whoa. Because what do we know? We know that that's when sellers need to talk to us. That's when buyers need to talk to us. We know that that's when fires are happening because our agent, and my position's a little different because I'm helping my agents who are in the fires. And I thought to myself, okay, well, we can't start with 2 hours, but we can start, and I think just starting and creating that, I'm in charge of that for my family. I'm in charge of that for my girls. If I'm going to have quality time with them and their face not buried in a screen, that's my decision, right? And I think you said the exact same thing. I'd love to get in the office and be really productive, but it's my decision to have myself first and to have that quality time for me. And that's the same thing, because if I don't get any time with my girls interacting and seeing their personalities, really all this hard work isn't worth it to me, because it's just not. That's why I'm doing it, right? To create a different life for them.
Create that lifestyle. Yeah. And for me, like my phone, I do have it on most of the time, but I have my children know that if they need me at like 8:30 on, they better call their dad, because I'm, I've got myself in situations where I'll be writing an offer at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, which absolutely, but that's when I'll make a mistake. Like that's when I'll like type something incorrectly, or because I'm tired. You are literally exhausted from the day. So I try to really gauge my day on like, I will get this done for sure, but I have to sometimes, I'm like, oh, I typed that wrong. It's not a big deal, because real estate's not life or death. Like we can fix anything, right? But yeah, I definitely put my phone away about 8:30 on, and I tell the kids, I turn my ringer off, the whole shebang. Like we're done. Like we are done.
Yeah. So. I think because the kind of work we do, and I think it's so funny, someone watching this not in real estate, until you're into real estate, you're like, oh, that's what they do. Because I thought to myself, I didn't really think how hard could it be? I just had no idea. I thought you put a sign in the yard, you put some paperwork together, and it works out. There's like 87 things that have to happen between the time that sign goes in, even before that, until the time it may close. And so, yes, it does have to happen at kind of all hours, but we are in control of how that can go. And we have to be in charge of our schedule and our calendar. And putting ourselves in it is really important, and turning it off, because there's no way you can get a restful night's sleep if you're still on your phone at 10 o'clock at night.
Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay, let me look at my notes. Hold on a second.
We went off on a tangent, y'all. Like
I think that makes the best conversation. I think that sometimes I'll like say, because I didn't even tell you what we were going to talk about today, except for a couple minutes before. And I just love to see where the conversation goes, because if you and I feel this way about things, and we're in slightly different seasons of our life, it is highly likely that a lot of other people watching can relate and will feel encouraged. So you know what?
100%.
Okay, you do live in Port St. Joe. What is, I have your bio up there, but that is the most beautiful water, I think, anywhere in the world, the Gulf. So what do you guys do in your free time?
Well, so, we used to hunt a lot in Kansas, but we don't hunt here. We fish. I joined a group called the Swivel Sisters, and it's women connected to water. And so I've been enjoying some time with my swivel sisters. And so, but we do a lot of kayaking, fishing. My husband and I, we did get a boat a couple years ago. So we will take the boat out. Right now, my husband is also part owner of a local restaurant. And so it's with my daughter and friend. And anyway, it's a long story. But so there's a Cuatro Locos. It's an authentic Mexican restaurant. It's in town. Okay. So if I come home and he's not here, I know where he's at. He's having a drink with the guys. But yeah, we like to take the boat out. We like to walk. We've got a lot of paths, bike paths and things like that. We have a almost 1-year-old Italian Mastiff. And so we like to take him for some short walks because he doesn't go very long. But we're very pet friendly here. So you can take your pets to many of the restaurants and sit outside, and our beaches are pet friendly. You can have a bonfire on the beach. You can drive on some of our beaches. So we've got the Jeep, so we like to go Jeeping. It's really fun. It's a lot of just laid back, chill, enjoy the day here.
Yeah. And I think with COVID, you saw a huge uptick because people that had to live in big cities like Atlanta, like in California, in New York, they didn't have to be there anymore. So you saw the most influx of folks ever.
For sure. For sure. If they were going to work from home and homeschool their children, they're not doing it in the cities. They were coming here.
Absolutely.
And we're in Florida where it's, we don't have any
restrictions. Yeah.
It's nice.
Listen, there's a place for everybody, and everybody has a different opinion about it. Nothing's right or wrong. I think that, people should choose where they want to be. And I think that shows up, that a lot of people, who doesn't want to be at the beach? I do.
Right. Come on.
Exactly. I'm coming down to Cuatro Locos. All right. So one more question. What is either personal, professional, doesn't matter. What is your next big either goal you've set for yourself or next big step in your life that you're really, really excited about?
Well, I know it sounds crazy, but I didn't set a financial goal for me this year. I kind of have this number in my head, but I didn't go there because I just want to be still the best that I can be. I've been working very heavily on more video content, which I've done some. So I've been working on some video content. I'll be dropping a new one. I have a YouTube channel, but I think I have to change it. So I'll let you know if I have to change it. But so I've been working on some of that. And so I really want to organically, I've been very blessed with a broker who has been receiving leads for buyers and handing them out to our team. Like I'm very blessed by that. So part of my pipeline is that, but I want to be not just a consumer there. Like I want to be able to bring it in organically myself. So, and I'm super excited to be doing more of that. And I have my oldest daughter has been taking care of my social media. Kudos to Kaylee. So having some consistency. So I'm super excited to see how that rolls. I got an Instagram lead the other day, which I was like, yay, that's super cool. But I just want to work more organically. I'm seeing a lot more of that happening. So I want to really kind of push in that direction for me.
Awesome. Well, I think that this has been completely enlightening, fun. I know I'm going to be watching to see what you do this year. I know the rest of our viewers will too. How, if someone wants to contact you or even come look at homes in Port St. Joe, how do they find you, Nicole? What is your Instagram, whatever you want to plug?
So my Instagram is just Nicole Majors _real estate. Super easy. And I'm Nicole. There's no H in my name. And then, you can always call me. Honestly, call my cell. Don't call, after about 9 o'clock on Eastern time.
Exactly.
But my cell is 850-247-8415. Just give me a shout.
Perfect.
Happy to chat.
I am so grateful for you, Nicole. I'm so grateful
for you.
I am so grateful you were willing to share today. I know that the viewers will take away some incredible nuggets. It is possible to live a very full life and be very successful. And I think you're a complete example of that.
Aww.
So I honor you for that. I honor you in all of the things you're doing. And I'm just so grateful for you today. So that's it for today, guys. MichelleHughes.com if you want to get any other information. I will definitely hook you up with Nicole and make sure that you know where to find her. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you guys soon. Bye.